So our aim is to start school right after breakfast at 9 a.m. every day, but every day is different. Sometimes they wake up earlier or later. Sometimes breakfast takes longer. What's most important to us is to start homeschool as soon as we finish eating breakfast. Anytime I've tried bending on this rule, within a few seconds, they've ran off, gotten their minds on something else, some other type of activity. And I've learned from experience that once they get their minds set on something, it will be a difficult job to try to pry them away from it. So, in order to avoid needing to interrupt their creative flow, I start the moment that we've all finished eating breakfast, which usually is like a quick smoothie. In today's video, I'll be sharing a day in the life collage of our homeschool days. If you're considering homeschooling, I hope this video inspires you and that my How to Start Homeschooling class or worksheet linked in the description below can help you plan a thriving homeschool experience of your own. We start every school day with a song. This is the day that the Lord has made, which serves as a praise and worship song and also gets our minds ready for the school time. And before each transition, we also say a rhyme or a scripture or a tune. That way, the day flows smoothly and the kids know what to expect. Like, have you ever noticed how much the kids will ask what's happening next week or next day or the next hour? I believe that it's because they want predictability and love consistency. So I do my best to make sure that they know what to expect. After our opening song, we do our charts review. We review key parts of each subject every other day. For example, like Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then we do penmanship practice the other days. So, for example, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, to work on their handwriting. Now, this usually takes about 15 minutes. Then we'll do our transition song for our first special topic. When I plan their schedules before the school year, I make sure to schedule their subjects that require the most focus during their first special topic. Things like math, science, social studies. And I tend to start each special topic with a demo or discussion, kind of like help wrap their minds around the subject. And sometimes once we've discussed the topic, then I'll show like a few short video clips to give them a visual example too, to kind of drive the point home further. Then they have their time to explore the topic with some type of hands-on activity, counting blocks, an experiment, some type of worksheet, so that they have a chance to apply what they've learned. And special topics usually take about an hour. So while they're finishing up their activity, I get their snack ready. I've learned that our snack break is important, an important part of the day that we should not skip. We all, myself included, need that 15-minute break to kind of like decompress and to let our minds just roam free. And I tend to prepare like snack finger foods for snacks so that it takes a little while to eat, things like seeds and raisins, so that they don't finish in 30 seconds. So we do our snack rhyme. They enjoy their snacks amongst themselves at the lunch table, also known as the dinner table. And I head to the teacher's lounge, my room, to take a moment to just rest. And while I'm there, I tend to just sit back and I just thank God for the strength to have completed the first special topic and for the lessons learned so far, especially for the ones that weren't in my lesson plan, but were certainly in his. Things like lessons of patience, love, and perseverance. As nice as our break is, once about 15 minutes has passed, we've got to start our second special topic, starting again with our special topic song. As I mentioned earlier, the second special topic is usually one that requires less focus and is more creative in nature. Things like art, music, because by this point in the morning, everyone's patience is already starting to wane a little. But our second special topic is still one that follows the same pattern as the first subject. A discussion, demo, video example, followed by like a hands-on activity. Now, towards the end of the second special topic, while they do their activity, I sneak away again to fix their lunch so that it'll be ready in time to eat. Then we transition to our read aloud time, starting with our read aloud song. Now, this might be our favorite time of the school day because we're all excited to see which story is next in our chapter book. I read the story out loud as my daughters follow along, looking at the words. How do I know that they're following along and not just looking at the pictures, you ask? Well, I do this funny thing that my mother did with me and my sisters when we were kids. When they least expect it, I change a part of the story for a sentence or two to something that's related yet outlandish to see if they're really following along. Now, this has been fun for us, and it keeps the kids personally invested in the story themselves and making sure that they're reading it too. My oldest daughter also reads a few paragraphs of the story too now. The idea is for us to eventually all take turns reading out loud once everyone's gotten their grasp on reading. Once all academics are complete, we finish up by singing our closing song, This Little Light of Mine. And this serves as a reminder to them and to myself to let our lights continue to shine everywhere we go and all through the night. And we always finish up the last verse with a group hug. We sing our lunch song, march over to our plates, quite literally, and eat our lunch together. Now, sometimes by this point in the day, I really could use another teacher's lounge break, but I do my best to eat lunch with them so that we can have that time to just chat and bond. As soon as they're finished eating, they know to get ready to leave the house for recess. Once they're ready, we recite our recess call and response, shout, and we're out the door. Now, in cold, inclement weather, they'll do like a kids exercise video. But on good weather days, we'll head outside and do some things outside on the playground, ride bikes, play tag together as a family. And I must say, playing tag as a family is a great exercise and it's so much fun. Recess usually lasts anywhere from like 30 minutes to 2 hours of fun, which I always document in our PE log. Once we get home and they've gotten their jiggles out on the playground, they finally have their after-school independent time where they can do all the sporadic things that they had put on hold earlier. They draw, read, sew, make kitchen experiments, whatever their creativity draws up. And I take a second to document our homeschool activities in my notes, review the next day's lessons, and rest up before my office hours begin. Just like during snack break, I tend to finish the school day with a feeling of gratitude. Yes, I've used up a good amount of energy, and both emotionally and physically, but it's such a rewarding thing to have used up my energy in order to invest in my kids and to know that they're the ones who benefit from the best working hours of my day. Now, I remember how inspired I was when I watched Salty Tribe Co.'s YouTube homeschool videos years ago, and I feel so thankful to be able to share this day in the life with you. I feel immensely blessed by our homeschool routine, and I take no credit for the making of this routine, the songs we sing, or even the lessons that they learn. To God be all the glory. I felt since day one that this homeschool setup wasn't just for me and my girls, that it was meant to be shared, to be an inspiration to families around the world. And I truly hope that this has been inspiration to you too. So, if you're thinking about homeschooling, I've put together a How to Start Homeschooling workshop for you. It's a class that I teach live online, and it helps you to basically plan your homeschool setup. Or if you'd rather just plan independently, I did make a workbook. So you can just download the workbook and complete it independently. It's the How to Start Homeschooling workbook. I also put together a homeschool support group so we can meet virtually. So if you're already homeschooling, you can use a tribe, or if you're just homeschool curious, you're invited to join us virtually for a homeschool support group. And you can find links to all these below in the description. I hope that you found all this helpful. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you in the next video.